In the quiet village of Malevola, a shadow of fear hung over the people. For years, the village had been terrorized by a beast like no other, half human, half animal. This monstrous creature appeared unexpectedly, wreaking havoc on the peaceful lives of the villagers. Buildings were destroyed, crops ruined, and many lives were lost. The beast had a power that no one could understand, and no matter what the king tried, nothing could stop it. Warriors and hunters from all over came to fight it, but they all failed. The beast always seemed one step ahead, slipping away into the wilderness after each attack. Among the people of Malevola was a poor man named Kale. He lived on the edge of the village with his wife, Lyra, who was blind and pregnant. The villagers looked down on him, seeing him as nothing more than a lowly servant. They gave him small jobs on their farms, paying him only a handful of coins. His life was hard, but Kale loved his wife deeply, and together, they dreamed of a better life for their child. One day, Kale went into the village to find work. He knew that his wife needed food and care, especially now that she was expecting their child. As he walked through the streets, he heard a distant roar, an unmistakable sound that sent chills down his spine. The beast had returned. Kale rushed back home, but by the time he arrived, the creature had already attacked. The village was in chaos. People screamed and ran for their lives, while the beast tore through homes and fields. Kale rushed to his wife, but before he could reach her, the beast struck. In the blink of an eye, Kale was gone, his life snuffed out by the creature's savage claws. Lyra, though blind, could feel the ground shake beneath her as the beast rampaged. Her heart raced as she scrambled to escape, but something was wrong. Her water had broken. She couldn't move fast enough, and with each painful contraction, she knew the time had come. She stopped in her tracks and fell to her knees, crying out for help, but no one was around. The village had been abandoned, and all she could do was wait. In the midst of her pain, Lyra gave birth to a son. She held him in her arms, her heart full of love and sadness. She knew she wouldn't survive this night. With her last breath, she whispered a prayer for her baby, hoping someone would find him. And then something strange happened. From the shadows, an animal appeared. It wasn't like the others. This creature was wise, its eyes full of understanding. It gently took the baby from Lyra's arms and carried him away into the forest. The baby's cries faded as the animal vanished into the darkness, leaving the village behind. The years passed, and the boy, now named Aiken, grew up in the wilds of the forest, raised by the creatures of the land. He was cared for by animals, some fierce, others gentle, but all with a strange connection to him. Aiken learned their ways, understanding their language and movements as if he had always belonged to them. The animals taught him survival, strength, and the old ways of the earth. He became a skilled hunter and a fearless protector of the forest. But deep inside, Aiken felt a sense of longing. He often wondered about the world beyond the trees, the world of humans. He didn't remember his parents, but something inside him told him that his story was far from over. The beast that had destroyed his village still roamed the land, and he knew it was only a matter of time before it came for him. One day, the king of Malevola called for help. The beast had returned, and the village was once again in danger. Desperate, the king summoned the village oracle, a wise man known for his ability to see into the future. The oracle meditated deeply, searching for answers, and after days of contemplation, he finally spoke. "There is one among us, a boy from this village," he said, "who lives with the animals. He is the only one who can stop the beast." The king, shocked by the oracle's words, immediately sent 5 of the kingdom's bravest hunters to find the boy. The hunters searched the forests and mountains, following every lead and clue, but the boy was elusive. It seemed that the forest had swallowed him whole. After many days, just as the hunters were about to give up, a figure appeared before them. It was Aiken, standing tall and strong, surrounded by a pack of animals. His eyes shone with a wild, untamed light, and the hunters froze, unsure of what to do. The boy spoke not a word, but his presence was enough to communicate that he was no ordinary man. The hunters, fearful and uncertain, tried to speak to him, but Aiken didn't understand their language. They gestured and pointed, trying to show him their mission. One of the oldest animals, a massive bear, stepped forward and spoke to Aiken in their tongue, explaining that the hunters had come to find him to defeat the beast that terrorized the village. The animals warned Aiken not to trust the humans. They told him that if he followed them, he would always be safe, but if he returned to the village, he would be forced to fight against his own kind, against the very nature of who he was. Aiken was torn. He had never felt a connection to the humans, but something deep inside him told him that he needed to face the beast. He owed it to his parents, to the village, and to himself. After much hesitation, Aiken made his choice. He agreed to go with the hunters. When they returned to the village, the people were stunned. Aiken's face was strikingly familiar to them. He had the same features as the man they had lost years ago, the same eyes, the same strength. The villagers were unsure whether to welcome him or fear him. After all, he had lived among the animals, and who knew what kind of person he had become. But before they could say anything, the ground trembled, and a roar echoed through the village. The beast was back, and it was closer than ever. Aiken stood at the edge of the village, his eyes scanning the horizon. He could feel the presence of the beast, a dark force that had once destroyed everything he had known. The villagers held their breath, waiting for what would happen next. Would Aiken be able to defeat the beast that had haunted his past? Or was he too much like the creature, torn between his human side and his animal instincts? The answers lay just ahead, and only time would reveal the truth. As the beast's roar grew louder, the story of Aiken and the battle for Malevola was about to unfold.